Mr. Pengong, Mr. P.N. Sarma, Mr. Pandey, Mr. Misra, distinguished participants. It is indeed a very happy occasion for us today to participate in this India-China Trade Center meeting, which will focus on bilateral trade between our two great countries. As he mentioned, the bilateral trade between both countries is growing very fast, and I have every reason to hope that in next 2 to 3 years it should cross $100 billion. Today, China is the biggest trading partner of India, and the scope for increasing the volume of trade between the two countries is immense. There are many sectors where China has natural advantage, and there are many sectors where India also can push its exports into China. Only 2 days ago, I don't know, many of you would have noticed, there was a news article in Hindustan Times. In the city of Chengdu, there was a big seminar, and our ambassador, Mr. Jaishankar, had also visited, and they were extremely keen to promote Indian enterprises in Chengdu, which is in South China, capital of Sichuan province, I think. It's capital of Sichuan, I think, Chengdu. Yeah. So already companies like Wipro, companies like NIT, they have set up their base. And I had been to Suzhou, where TCS and other Indian companies have also set up. And their experience in China has been extremely good. So the scope for collaboration in IT is going up, and there is a lot of enthusiasm, according to the report in Hindustan Times, in these cities, because we were mostly focusing on Shanghai, areas around Shanghai, and partly perhaps in northern China, but the smaller cities are also gathering steam, and perhaps we have to now explore into these new areas away from the coastal regions. As has happened in India also, many cities which were previously not so important are also emerging as major industrial hubs in this country. So basically, the process for having a kind of free trade agreement is on. I believe the trade ministries, commerce ministries of both the countries are negotiating a free trade agreement. India has a free trade agreement with ASEAN countries, and I have no doubt in a few years' time, or as early as possible, we could even have a free trade agreement between both the countries, which will greatly facilitate development of trade. China has one of the major methods of promoting trade is through their trade fairs. We have seen Canton Fair, many of the people participate there also, and we should also hold similar fairs jointly with the Chinese companies. Of course, they do participate in the India International Trade Fair, but I would also suggest that we could have regional trade fairs. Another 2-3 areas where urgently there is need to have better collaboration, one is in the power sector. India is expanding the power sector in a big way, and there the Chinese companies can play a very significant role. Many of the major Indian enterprises are importing Chinese equipments for major power plants, but there is also scope for smaller power plants, particularly captive power plants in various areas. The other area where we could focus jointly is perhaps in the new technologies, green technologies, where the carbon emission and can be controlled. Some of these new technologies can be jointly developed, or wherever China has developed it, we can import these equipments and gradually reduce the level of emission. So the scope for improving the trade ties is immense, and the India-China Trade Center has been focusing in many of these areas and helping the importers as well as exporters in facilitating these trade ventures. So at this stage, I don't think I have many things. We would like to listen to the participants and find out what are the areas in which the facilitation process can be accelerated, what are the issues that we can place before the government, and ensure that the companies which do business in India, they face as little hurdle as possible. So it would be more of an interactive session, and we should have a free and frank discussion on all these issues. Thank you.